Hey everybody, welcome to Hit.Or.Die podcast, episode 78, and we're here with your hosts Jake Saldati and Chad Rothford. And obviously you guys can see who our guest is, but we'll remind you anyways. It's none other than big leaguer Jordan Luplow from the Cleveland Indians, Buchanan Bear, Fresno State Dog. Thanks for you're home for a little bit of time, but thanks for giving us some time to come hang out again.
Yeah, thanks for letting me show up on short notice.
Anytime.
We will make time for you.
Anytime.
But yeah, let's get right into just some fun. The playoffs. I know you had the Indians going to the World Series. I had them going to the World Series as well, but you had them winning it all. You guys were just so hot. It was hard not to pick you guys. But let's talk about the whole COVID season and how tough it is. I mean, you had an injury in the COVID spring and then trying to get healthy to get back in the lineup and then being only 60 games. I mean, it's hard to stay in a groove and stay in the lineup. You guys are stacked in the outfield.
Yeah, man. It was weird trying to ramp up that quick and knowing you only had a couple weeks before, you started games was kind of tough. And I had a lower back injury that kept me out pretty much the whole summer camp. I think I got like 8 to 10 at bats. And, I felt like I was good, but I wasn't. I was just like, dude, I got 60 games. Let's just grind this out. Hopefully it gets better, which it did about halfway through. But, the beginning I was just battling the lower back and just kind of knowing how many outfielders there were. It was like, all right, let's get off to a good start. Like, let's go. I got to be in this lineup. I can't go on the DL. But yeah, it was tough. It was tough dealing with that.
Yeah, well, you finished strong though. You have one of the biggest bat flips during that postseason and
on the first episode, you did talk about how you weren't too proud of. Was it with the Pirates? You had one that you weren't proud of, but I thought that was executed perfectly.
Yeah.
It was at the right time.
It was the backstory on that. It was the year before in 19, I tried to flip off the Twins and the pine tar stuck to the bat in my hand, the pine tar, and almost hit the catcher and the umpire.
That's right. That's what it was.
And so I was like, oh man, I better not do this again. And so I'm going to that game. It's like we're facing Giolito, and playoffs are coming a couple days around the corner, and I'm like, all right, I'm getting this start. Like, I've seen Gio work before. I haven't faced him. Strikes me out 3 times. So I'm 0 for 3, and I'm going to that last at bat. I'm like, oh man, just hit the ball. Like, come on. And I faced Gio a couple times with Pittsburgh. And it was more of like I hit it, and it was just like finally, like, God, yes. It wasn't like a pimp, like, oh, I'm sick.
It
was more like
type of deal.
Yeah, it was more like, thank God. Like, I'm glad I finally got, put a ball in play this game. And so, it just happened to be the walk-off homer, and, we were rolling. We had one the night before. Hosey hit a homer, 3-run homer to clinch us going to the playoffs. So it was just like another walk-off. And I think we had one 2 days later. And so it was just a lot of, adrenaline and exciting games going into playoffs.
So you made sure you got it into one hand to throw it so it didn't stick to your hand.
Yeah. And I think a lot of guys, because Tim Anderson does that.
Yeah,
he does. Puts it in the hand. And so I remember rounding second, and he was just kind of giving me one of the,
like you copied my,
all right, I see you. Like, I see you. At least I hope it was. I don't know. But yeah, he was eyeing me around in second. So, and that was the big thing on Twitter. People were like, "Oh, dude, you did it because of Tim Anderson." I'm like, "No, I did it because I was 0 for 3 with 3 Ks, and I had to do something my last at bat." So, yeah.
And then you guys get to play at home too. I mean, so there was a lot of factors into picking them. Like I said before, the pitching. I liked how the pitching matched up. Obviously, it didn't. We didn't work out. You guys were at home. So yeah, I mean, I stand by my decision, being a fan of a team that's still playing, and I stuck to my bracket. I don't like that either, but I picked the Dodgers initially to get there, and maybe it'll work in my favor because everybody I've picked has lost. So hopefully they lose. But getting into the COVID stuff, like how strenuous was it daily? Like testing? Because it seemed like it was nonstop testing.
Yeah. It was every other day we had the spit test. Every day we had to go in and get our temperatures, and we had to fill out a form, like an app on our phone, and, do you have this symptom, that symptom? It was like maybe 10, 12 questions or something like that. We had to do that every day. And then like our lockers were all spread apart. Like there was only a certain number of guys in the main locker room, guys in the coach's locker room, guys like down in the dugout suites. Guys were just all over the place. So it was hard to have team camaraderie, talk to guys or whatever. And we had MLB security walking around every day, telling us, put your mask on. Because you sit at your locker and you're like on your phone, not wearing a mask, and they come up and bother you. Or like you go into tubs, there can only be 2 people in the tubs and you got to have your mask on. And same in the training room. And it was just like everywhere you went, you felt like people were watching you. And then the lunches and the dinners and breakfasts, it was all like prepackaged. So I hadn't eaten a meal with a metal fork in 3 months. So when I got home, I was like, I'm going out, I'm getting something, and I want to cut it with a knife and a metal fork, So it was all like prepackaged in the heat lamps, with the plastic silverware, like to go stuff. It was all to go. Space out when you eat. And yeah, it was just mentally draining. It just felt like there was no break. When you got to the field, people were on you. You were having to do this, do that, check into this, make sure your temperature's at. Yeah, it was a lot.
Well, and then you guys aren't even getting to the field.
Right. That's
like you were going to say, you brought it up a couple times, is, you get to the field normally 1 o'clock, 12:30, whatever. Now you're getting there only like a couple hours before game time. So your routines have to change as well. Not only just your everyday routine of the COVID stuff, but now your actual baseball routine to stay focused and ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah. We couldn't get to, I think at home it was like 2:30. On the road, it could be anywhere like 3 to 4 o'clock. But yeah, and then like you would get to the field and you'd have to get in the tubs and get with a trainer, but everyone was getting there at 2:30
for the same reasons.
For the same thing. So it was like, all right, you kind of try and space it out. Like when you're at home, you're good, but when you're on the road, they only have a certain amount of tubs and trainers and people that can be in this certain area. So that was tough. And then obviously cage work, stretching in the weight room, working out. There'll be a certain amount of guys, certain amount of time. So,
and you guys didn't hit on the field all the time either, correct?
That was pretty normal. It just depended on the situation, but there wasn't. Usually they'll do like guys that weren't playing that day or whatever would hit early, like before the regular batting practice, and that was like we only could do that a couple times, just to take the strain off everyone trying to get in the place at the same time.
And so on the road, would you guys come in later or earlier?
No, later. He said they would get there like 4.
Okay, that's
3 or 4, which is only for like a 6 o'clock game or 7 o'clock game.
So I guess my question was going to be about when those guys hit. Or were they using in the cages? I mean, if you're 2 hours before a game, how much time do you get on a field to hit BP if you're on the road?
Yeah, you got to squeeze in whatever you got. It's a normal BP session, which is like 45 minutes to an hour. But yeah, once you get there, it's like, and the food rooms aren't in the normal food room. They're not in the locker rooms anymore. They got to be up and outside. So like in Pittsburgh, we would go there. We had to go up like 3 flights of stairs and walk along the concourse just to get to the food. And the weight room was up there. And so you had to go all the way over there, eat your food. And you're like, well, I have to go down and change again to get back up to the weight room. So you're going down. It's like you kind of had to plan that, all right, I'm going to eat, then do the weight room, and then go down and into the cages. And yeah, it was a lot of walking and going upstairs and spacing everything out.
Does it make it hard? Does it make it harder to like focus on what you're there to do? Or, I mean, was there moments of being challenging? or once the game goes, it's all forgotten and clicked over. Or, I mean, if you don't feel prepared,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. I mean, like if you couldn't get your routine in that day because it was the first day at a new stadium and you didn't know where the food room was, and you got there late, and then you had an appointment with the massage lady, and you missed that, or it runs late, whatever. There's just little obstacles that kind of built up throughout the day, and like you didn't get your downtime, like just before a game to just relax. Like there was times on the road I would just get there, do my stuff, eat, and I'd go right to BP, and BP would end at like 6:15, 6:20, and I just go in, put my jersey on, and go back out. Like I didn't really have time to do anything.
Yeah, and you need that time to kind of decompress after BP and then get mentally prepared for the game, because that's tough. And maybe that's the reason why we saw a lot of numbers down, not in everybody throughout the big leagues. There wasn't really, the batting averages were down big time by a lot of superstars that normally hit for higher average. I know Santana had pretty much a down year, but it's 60 games. I still can't get over the fact that it's 60 games. You still normally have another 100 games to go to finish off your season. So guys, how is it in the locker room with you guys being prepared and ready, or like, hey, I only have 60 games. I don't have 100 games, 162 or whatever. So that's got to be hard for guys mentally. Even every game counts. If an 0-for-4 game, that matters in 60 games. In 162, you can shake it off.
Yeah. I think it was like every one game counted as 3. So that was pretty much like the win-loss. It was like you win 1, you win 3 games in a regular season. So that was added pressure there. And like obviously you want to get off to a good start, but some guys just don't. Like I don't normally get off to a good start. Like I always take a couple weeks, and that couple weeks is a month. You know, it was a month because you had these older guys, and trying to get everyone like, oh, Loop's not doing well. Let's try him for a couple games. Oh, he's not doing well. Let's go to the next guy, and then let's go back to Loop. And
it's like nobody ever gets comfortable.
It sucked for the outfield. I know we were all trying our best to just kind of keep our head above water, and I think we ended up doing pretty well towards the end of the season. Once you got your routine in and you kind of knew what to expect, and like once you just forgot, you're like, all right, that first month, the first 3 weeks is out of the way. Like it's done with. You got a month left. Like I'm not going to hit 330. Or I'm not going to hit 300. Like let's just go and win games now. And like once people kind of got past that, and I think we started to roll a little bit.
Yeah, that's just that. I don't know. That just seems so hard to me. Like I get it as a coach's standpoint. You have to win. You have 60 games, so you have to win. So yeah, you're gonna, especially with how many good outfielders you guys had. You either were hot and you were in the lineup, or if you weren't, you're out of the lineup. And that's just, in a normal season, they might be like, oh, we'll give Loop another week. Right. Yeah, get him going, see if it gets him going. But they couldn't in this situation. And that just sucks. But it was like that all over.
Yeah, everybody had to kind of deal with that. And I think, well, not everybody, right? You guys had some issues with your manager, not having him around all year. Obviously has to play a little bit of a role. And then there was a distraction in the middle of that with a couple pitchers. And I mean, we don't need to get into that. That's been talked about. But so not only that, you compound it with all of that stuff, and you're dealing with a short amount of time. And, you losing those 2 guys for the time you did, I'm sure that was, tough for the team. And
I mean, I'm not going to, like, it is what it is. It happened. Everyone knows about it. Like, they came back and apologized, and, it's all water under the bridge now. I mean, we had rules in place, and they broke them, and the punishment was what it was, and we all talked about it.
We can take that.
No, I'm just the point of it is that there was other distractions on top of all the things that you already have to deal with, where other teams didn't have some of those. Maybe they did, and they were internal, but this was one that wasn't, with Tito down for a little while and not there in the playoffs. And, yeah, I mean, you guys had a little bit more to deal with, I think, than maybe some other teams did.
Yeah, that Tito situation, that was tough, man. They kept that, even from the players, they kept it pretty low-key and under wraps. We didn't know really what was going on or when he was coming back. But, I mean, Sandy Alomar, stepped in. He didn't want to do that. He didn't want to manage a big league team. He didn't know really what he was doing. So him and, all the coaches had to get together and try and do the best they could, and I think he did. I think he did a good job for, just being put on the spot there. And
I'd agree with that.
Dealing with, what he had to deal with. Because, I mean, you had guys hurt, you had guys banged up, and then you got guys, all right, he's playing 3-4 days in a row. Naquin, he had an ACL the year before. It's like, how many games can he go in a row? Is he getting tired? Loop hasn't played in a couple days. We got a lefty in 3 or 4 days. You got to put him in. It's just a lot of moving parts in 60 games.
Yeah.
So I think he did a great job for being just literally thrown into the fire. So,
well, I mean, making the playoffs, that's said for something, especially in 60 games. And how did you like the 16 team format?
I liked it because it gave more teams a shot. And I mean, our division, there was 3 teams. I think the Central had 4. Those are good teams. Those are all good baseball teams. And, some of those, what is it usually? They take the top team
one from each and
right,
then 2 wild
card.
Yeah, so 3 of those teams don't make it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's 3 legit baseball teams. They were all, I feel like we were all playoff teams, and they were able to make it. I like the format. It's going to be interesting what they do going forward.
Yeah, I kind of like the wild card series too. I thought that was pretty.
I know I said I didn't like some of it. I liked the format, but I think it was also 60 games, so you had a team that's under 500 in there. I feel like in 162 games,
yeah,
season,
you're probably not
going to have a team under 500, but you might. I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, the format, you get more baseball, and you get more teams with an opportunity to get in the playoffs. And in baseball, anything can happen. Anybody can win any day. I know you like to watch, video and look at some of the information you get. Was that how hard was that even to sit down and watch film of pitchers that you're going to face, or you like the hot sheets and all that?
Mm-hmm. That was pretty normal because it's all on our phones, on our apps. So they personally give you what you want. The thing that was tough was not being able to check in-game video.
Oh yeah,
because of the whole Astros situation. So we couldn't go in the dugout and say, "Man, where was that pitch?" I felt like it was outside, really outside, and you couldn't go look at it. It was just they would print off your at bats and throughout the game, and it would be just dots on
you get on the MLB network, the phone,
the Gamecast.
Yeah,
right. It would be like that. But it was still hard to tell. Because who knows how accurate that is. It's better when you can see the ball cross the plate. Because all the hit track stuff, it's not always accurate. All the whatever the thing is that runs all that. But yeah, it was tough not being able to see in the moment and see how were they pitching me? Were they trying to go inside? Were they trying to go outside? And they just missed, and then they call it a strike, or just little things like that. It was you couldn't prepare, you didn't know.
You would think that they could do something where you have the box and where the ball crosses and no catcher behind it. You know what I mean? It's just a screen. It's got the strike zone, and then it's where the ball crosses. You don't need to see the catcher. You don't need to see signs. You don't just somehow get rid of the catcher.
Well, that's what the Gamecast is.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about
basically what? Yes, exactly.
But in live,
they do it that way in the dugout, where the replay room would have been. Just make that available. I don't know,
almost where the catcher and ump's invisible.
Yeah.
But you could see the pitcher throw to the zone. I mean, they got to be able to figure something out.
Do you see what Pitching Ninja does? He's got all the good stuff going. What was it like playing with no fans?
That was weird,
or
man.
Fake fans,
or fake crowd noise, or sitting in the stands. I remember seeing the you guys had to sit in the actual, or you were in the dugout.
No, we were like in Cleveland behind home plate. There's those little suites,
Right.
so we were in there, and like other teams had the pop up tents
Right.
in the stands. It didn't even feel like you were part of the team. You were just like, I need a beer and I need to watch this game right now. Like, I just, you go down.
Like, hey, you're gonna hit in the.
Yeah, it was weird. It's like you couldn't get up and like, I mean, you could get up and go like stretch and stuff, but it was like you're just like the team's over there talking about the pitcher and how they're doing and all the game plan and he's switching it up, he's doing this and that, and you're just in the stands, like with the other guys, just BS and pitchers that aren't throwing that day, starters.
Is it easier to have your mind wander in that environment than being in the dugout?
Oh yeah,
with your guys talking about ABs or talking about that AB or things he's doing on the mound.
Yeah, I think towards the end we kind of started sneaking in every couple innings and sitting in there and even the energy. Like if they were down, you could really tell they were down. Like there was no fans to help hype you back up or get your team rolling. Talk trash to the other team, get them off their game or whatever. Because you would go in there and it'd be like a graveyard. And so we started like going in there, a couple of us or whoever wasn't playing, going in there and like, let's go. Try and hype the guys up, give them a little energy. Because it was hard, man. It was hard with no fans, and they do the crowd noise or whatever, but it doesn't really do it.
You don't have the drum beating up there, and Cleveland's known for its crowd, man.
Yeah, they get rowdy, man. They got all the beer in the beer garden in right field, man. Yeah. They get after it.
I mean, there's people in the bullpens back there. Like, I'm getting in your head, dude. Mm-hmm. You're double in the eighth that take the lead. I mean, could you imagine what that place would sound like?
It would have erupted, dude. That's like the whole year.
You don't think that might have affected the rest of that inning just a little bit?
Absolutely, because now the pitcher's just like, all right, let's take a breath, calm down. There's no crowd like still going. Yeah. He doesn't feel that pressure of the opposing crowd, and we were at home. We were at home for the playoffs, so that would have been a big advantage. I don't think the other pitchers have a chance to breathe when you have that crowd, on them, on top of you, just yelling at you. So that would have been a different ballgame for sure.
Well, you talk about talking trash and stuff, and obviously there's no fans. So how was it being able to hear the other team more, even talking across from each other?
Yeah, there was a couple times you kind of catch them say something. You're like, all right, that's how it's going to be today. All right. Or like, guys striking out and you saying something while they're walking back to the dugout. Like you hear stuff. Yeah. Like you pop out, you circle first base and go past their dugout and they're like chirping you. And so you're like, all right, like you can hear a lot more of that this year for sure.
Was there so there was let's go have you watched that at bat live, that pinch hit in the game 2?
I just watched like clips of it. I haven't watched like I've heard things.
It was they were questioning the move.
Because Naylor was hot right? He was hot. That's what they were questioning.
Yes, and he got pinch hit for. And I thought you took really 2 good swings right on him. And me and Chad were just like all caps, like yes. They might have been able to hear us in Cleveland.
No, not me.
So
I had to keep it down.
Can't wait to children.
Yeah.
You get to second base, and was there a little peek out there to right field? Like, what's up, dog?
I let Judge know. Yeah, I let him know. Told him I was going to run on him too. You better be ready.
That moment was huge.
It was.
But it's like, we've talked about this with everybody we talked to, that played in the big leagues and whatnot, or even our last episode with the pitching coaches. There's going to be decisions that are right decisions and wrong decisions, and you kind of just have to go with the moment and what it's about. And I thought, and Naylor was actually a big part of that, even though you hit the double afterwards about how good of a teammate he was on top.
He was probably the most jacked up guy in the dugout.
Jacked up that you came in and pinch hit and got the double. And I know that was a big video everybody showed, was that's how you should be a teammate, is, what Naylor did when he got pinch hit for. But, you guys are all professionals, and I think people forget that Naylor might be hot, but you're a professional hitter. You got to have faith in everybody that comes up there. And, obviously us, we're more, for you. So we're like, yeah, of course we want Lupa in there right now. Like, he's the guy. He's going to get it done. And, but that you guys have faith in each other as teammates too. So how does that help knowing that situation, he's pulling for you?
Yeah, man, that's huge. Well, it was just something we did all year. It would happen to me. It would happen to him. It would happen to every other guy. Except for the 4 infielders who were switch hitters. It happened to us all year. So people were like questioning it, but in our minds, I felt like this is what happens. We do this every game. Like late in the game, all of us got to be ready, because if I'm in there, Naylor may come in. If Naylor's in there, I may come in, Naquin, everyone else. So it wasn't new to us, I don't think. Obviously, you never want to get taken out and you want to, compete. But yeah, that was big time, man. That at bat was crazy. I just remember going in there with, I never faced the guy, but the guys in that little suite were telling me, like, Mercado was like, I face him a lot, dude. He's gonna come at you with heaters. All right. So I went in there. I had those couple good swings, and then I got down 0-2, and I was like, that's not, like, if that's his best heater, he's not gonna beat me. And then I saw his best slider. It started right down the middle, and I spit on it, and because it broke for a ball, and I was like, all right, that's all he's got there. Like, he's got nothing to beat me. Like, I hit his 2 best pitches and his best, like, spit on his best breaking ball. Like, this is my at bat right now. Like, I'm the one that's I'm gonna get myself out if I do. So once I took that breaking ball, I go, this I got him. That was it.
I think they showed after you took that pitch, which is a great take. People don't understand how hard it is to take a good slider. That you said start over the middle of the plate, because that could hit the outside corner, and you took that. But then it showed a close-up of you talking to yourself at that situation. I know you probably don't even remember anything you said, but you probably were saying exactly what you just told us.
That's exactly what I said. Yeah, I was telling myself that's all he's got. Like, he's not going to beat me. Yeah. Like, he can't beat me. There's no way. I know I took his 2 fastest pitches, 2 good sinkers. I fouled him off, and, yeah, that's exactly what I was telling myself.
He didn't try to get greedy. You did. I mean, that's every time is middle of the field, man. Was there any idea, like, were you kind of like, this is about to happen? Like, did you have any heads up, or was it again in the moment? Because even talking with Hefner, there's moments where they know maybe 2 batters before, yeah, we're gonna probably they can tell this is gonna play out. They're gonna make this move, and this is
Naylor was on deck,
right? So it was, but I mean, there was a lefty in the game, right?
Britain,
yeah. So were you kind of anticipating, like, okay, they're going to call my number, and then they're going to – it just depends on now where they go. Yeah. Because I know a lot of Yankee fans are like, why didn't they go Ottavano?
Yeah. I know I was going in there because Britain stayed in the game. I think that was his 2nd inning. And so I knew he was going to be on a short leash, and I knew who they had warming up. And I just think – I mean, it was one of those coaching things, like, all right, you put Naylor up there, we're going to bring in this pitcher. If you put Luplow up there, we're going to put in this guy. So it was like I knew what the guy in the bullpen had, and I've faced Britain before. So it was just one of those things. It was going to happen, and it was going to be me.
Yeah, I think that's what people are like. Look, it was lefty on lefty before you even got announced. So, people they're seeing you come in, but they see the righty coming in. So they're like, why would they put Luplow in to face a righty? That's what all of these fans are thinking when you were coming in to face Britain.
Right.
Even though they knew they were going to change the pitcher, but they still went with a matchup, So,
well, not only that, they're getting Britain out of the game. Right?
Yeah.
That's another thing he's done now.
Yeah.
Right? He's been, other than when he was down a little bit with injury, but he was pretty good all year.
Yeah, but you got to go. You're going with the matchup. So, yeah, you rake lefties, but you're also a professional hitter. So, I mean, like, and you have a guy coming in that likes his fastball. Britain has a ball that sinks, and the guy you're facing, leaves it up a little bit more. It's like, so when you think about that, the move is hands down. It's not even a question.
Exactly. I mean, you just took the words out of my mouth right there. That's exactly what I'm sure Sandy was thinking. It's like Britton's a ground ball guy. So he's got like a really good sinker. Like the guy coming in, not as good, a little more firm, but leaves it up. So
boom. I should be in the managing the big leagues right now. No, but it was I caught it early on in the season because we get a lot of the Cleveland games here, and I don't know why I didn't say anything before. I just remember somebody rounding third, and I see Manzo on the back of the jersey, and I'm like, what? Like, no way. And I didn't even say anything to you until later on, until the end of the season. And how was that having? I know you played for him as a manager in AAA, but how was he? He seemed like he did a great job being the third base coach. He had a really good send.
Yeah, who was that?
Was it Hernandez? Did he send?
It might have been
Hernandez. I don't know. He had a really good send where it could have gone either way. But yeah, there's a local Buchanan kid, and you know him. But how do you think he did as the third base coach in the big leagues for his first? That was his first time in the big leagues this year.
He was phenomenal. He did I'm not just blowing smoke. Like he did really well. He was always well prepared and knew the situation, like knew what was going on in the game. And I think players like a little bit more aggressive of a third base coach, and he was. I mean, he obviously knew when to stop guys, but the times he needed to send guys, he did. And I think he did a really good job. We're not a team that does a whole lot of like hit and run, bunt. Like we just hit. We just go out. I think we put the bunt on maybe a handful of times, and hit and run, I think, one time this year, and it was missed. So, yeah.
I know teams like that.
Yeah. I just hope that he did good enough where he gets to stay in the big leagues, because I know he wants to get into the big leagues, and he got there. And with Tito coming, hopefully he comes back. I don't know. You don't even know.
I have no idea.
But I'm just hoping. Manzo's such a great guy, and like you said, he's a workaholic when it comes to understanding the other team and arms and studying the game. But it was just really nice to see him getting up there, and then obviously two former Bears doing their thing. But yeah, I hope he gets to stay because he's such a great guy.
Yeah, me too. He did a great job over there, man. And I know the team really enjoyed him being there. And even though, I mean, he kind of got thrown in the fire too. He wasn't supposed to be there.
Right.
And next thing you know, he's coaching third base in a big league baseball game. It's not easy to do.
No.
Third base.
Yeah,
not first base,
yeah.
Third base.
Where you have a lot of decisions.
Yeah. It's such some pressure. Luckily, they're maybe that's the only positive to not having fans in the stands. They can't yell at you for making a good or bad decision. That, and you couldn't, fans couldn't rouse the Astros at all. Maybe that's the only other one. But do you think
we needed to win? We need a win today. By the way, the Astros.
No,
for me,
no.
I got
Bracket.
the Astros.
I think I had the Rays 4-2 in the series. I don't mind if it's 4-0, to be honest. He stands by his "they didn't do it" decision.
I stand by my Astros. I do. I'm that guy that I will go down with them. I don't care. It's like Dodgers fans. They think they know everything and they don't. They're gonna die or live and die by the blue. I'm gonna live and die by they didn't do everything they said they did.
Get out of here.
Stick with your guns,
But that's
I
the
guess.
thing. Everybody, we'll talk about it a little bit because it really pisses me off. Where yeah, their batting averages were down, but so was everybody's batting averages for the most part. I mean, Vogt had just a ridiculous year, and that happens. Some guys, like you said, get hot in the first 2 months of the season. There's guys that, April sucks. Then they start getting going at the end of May. Well, all right. Well, now the season's over in this year's season. So I think everybody was kind of down anyways. But the Astros, they're good players. You can't knock the fact that, Bregman, Correa, Altuve, Brantley, Gurriel, I mean, they have a great team that are good players. And, yeah, they had a down year with batting average, but so did everybody across the board. And I think we forget that, or not we.
I've never said that. I've never said they're not good players. But I do believe that they cheated.
Well, people are saying, "Oh, this is what happens when you don't."
Yes,
cheat.
that they only won because they cheated, and then they're not talented players. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. You don't get to the big leagues.
Well, they're going to win the World Series. So.
mean, they're in the ALCS, so.
Yeah, they're not going to win the World Series.
Watch.
They're not.
Just watch.
I've been watching. It's not going to happen.
It's kind of impressive what they've done with all that. Like, no one behind them, except for, I'm sure, the Astros fans, but, like, no one in baseball is behind them right now. And the fact that they're winning and, like, doing it convincingly is, I don't know, man.
Well,
you don't have to be nice about it.
No, their pitching's terrible. Let's be honest. That's another thing of how I don't know how their pitching's terrible. I mean,
I don't even know who they have.
Exactly.
Greinke.
I know Greinke, McCullers.
But Greinke threw game 4. Like is
he? And I think is he dealing with something? Is he hurt? I'm not sure.
I don't know. All I know is that this is just the worst year, not only in the world period, but of all sports and in baseball too. It's just you don't have routines. You have to do things you're not used to. You're out of your element, and then you're expected to go perform at this high level, which is almost impossible, to be honest, to perform like you would in a normal season. So it's just.
Well, and did you have to face any teams that dealt with COVID at all? I know, like the Mets had a couple situations. The Marlins, the Cardinals.
Where were we at? Oh, so when the Cardinals thing happened, they were at the Twins,
right?
And we played the Twins right after. And so once those tests came out, we were about to leave for our game, and then they were like, whoa. And we had a meeting like in the hotel, like we might not play tonight. We might not play tomorrow. Like they got to sanitize everything again before we take a step in the locker room and in the facility. So, yeah, we had to wait. And I think we got there super late for that game time. That one was late. It was almost a show and go. There's another one too. But our team was pretty good. We didn't have any during the year. I think we had one before the season, but that was it.
And how's that too? Because a lot of teams had to play. I mean, you're not used to playing doubleheaders, and now you're playing like, I'll just use an example, like 12 games in 9 days, or something like that. Did you guys have to play it because you had to make up the Twins games, right? So did you guys play a lot of them?
No, they played those.
Oh, you ended up playing them?
Yeah.
Oh. But did you guys down the stretch, because I know down the stretch was when they were making up a lot of games, play a lot of doubleheaders? Because that's got to be tough. I mean, you're already getting to the field at a late time. Now you got to play doubleheaders. And 7-inning doubleheaders.
That was nice. We should do that more often, I'll tell you that. Because 2 9s is not fun. 2 7s is nice. But I don't think it affected us at all. I think we had like a rain out, but that wasn't COVID related. The Cardinals, what they did is incredible. Like they had like 7 doubleheaders in the month of September.
Right. Yeah. They had like 1 week where they played like 10 games.
Yeah. And like I said, yeah.
They went like doubleheader, single game, doubleheader, single game, doubleheader. It was
the whole week.
It was pretty nuts.
That's tough, man. And they made playoffs.
And they made the playoffs. Yeah, that's.
Well, like you said, the Marlins had 160 transactions. Only 5 guys on their team were there day one.
Which one of them was not Dylan Lee?
Yeah.
Which we have a whatever.
I was going to call Jeter, but he put me on hold. I was going to tell him, what's up?
You're probably still on hold.
I'll always be on hold.
Did you guys play in any extra inning games with the new rules?
Yeah. Yeah, it cost us early to the White Sox, I think. Because, I mean, yeah, the guy on second, like, it's cool and all, but do you know how hard it is to get a guy on second on the back end of a bullpen? Like, that's almost impossible.
Yeah.
Like, those guys don't give up extra base hits. Like, very little hard contact. So, if you think about it that way, you're just starting with a guy on second, like that, no one out. That's not really realistic, I think.
Well, I didn't Turner. There was guys advocating for like a home run derby after like 12 or 13. I don't know. How do you feel about something like that?
I don't know. I don't like going 12, 13, 14 innings. That's not fun. No one wins. Not a single guy wins in that situation. So, I think they could do something. They could do something like a home run derby, or I don't know, position player pitches only after.
That'd be pretty fun.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be fun.
That'd be kind of better because you're still playing baseball.
And would you get up there and deal?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd go up there with my 4 ERA that you guys blasted me on.
Now, he probably blasted you.
Hey, I just tell it like it is. Sorry.
We have had a position player pitch on the podcast. Was Jason Wood
Yeah,
for the Marlins.
and he dealt against the Braves.
He
Your Braves.
He put up whatever. He put up a 0. That's all that matters. We don't need to say who.
The Braves.
Back to his 4 ERA.
No, but I mean, in that situation, do they tell you guys? Have you been a part of a position player? Because obviously, you always joke to the pitchers, like, I could throw harder than you, or I can get up there and throw 95. But in reality, of the games we've seen, you're not trying to throw as hard as you can because the mechanics are different. You have a chance of really hurting yourself. So were you a part of any of that where they kind of tell if a position player is going in like, hey, don't try to overdo it?
I don't think they really tell them what to do. They're just like, go ahead.
Really?
Do whatever you want to do.
So would you be that guy that just gets up there and –
I would. So I think my plan would be there's like a speed limit. Like there's a hitting limit. Like anything over like 75 to 85, like that's pretty hittable from a position player. So you got to be under that. You got to be like under 70, maybe under 65. And then I'm pumping one in there. If I'm getting it up to whatever I can get up to. Try and touch 90 maybe, get it up
Got
there.
a couple ephus pitches and then bring the cheese.
Yeah.
or like have a knuckleball, man.
I mean, if I'm feeling froggy, I might go for it, Throw a bender in there.
Throw left-handed.
There. Why would
I don't know. Do whatever.
you trying to walk the bases loaded?
Watch me. I'll throw left-handed
No.
and get it over the plate.
No.
in like 50 miles an hour. No, not 50 miles an hour.
Brink has hit tracks or whatever that thing is. The
Rapsodo.
Rapsodo. We could go do that.
We'll get Brink.
Left-handed.
We'll get his Rapsodo. We'll get you on the mound left-handed.
I don't know. After
We'll get Jake with a bat.
Oh, Jesus
and we're
Christ.
going
And I'll
after it.
strike him out.
never.
Whatever.
I'll drag mine on your ass.
I don't know. Who was it? It was the Yankees, though. LeMahieu went yard off of because you're pretty much, as a hitter, you're like, you either are damned if you strike out or you're like, if you don't get a hit, you're pretty much, it sucks.
It's one of the lose-lose, man. It's
Yeah.
like, why you got to get a hit off him or why you got to hit a homer off him? Like, this game's over. And then it's like, why'd you strike out, man? It's a position player. So it's really a lose-lose, maybe like a little base knock or whatever. But
So have you faced a position player? Mm-hmm. Ooh. How'd that go?
1 for 1.
All right.
1 for 1.
Batting a thousand.
Jam job.
Hit to hit.
Leonis Martin. He was actually on my team last year. And he was talking trash one day. And I was like, dude, you were on the Cubs, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I faced you last year. We were whooping your ass and you came in to pitch. And he's like, oh, I strike you out. I was like, I don't think so, man. I pulled up the video and I showed it to him. And he was like, oh, no. That's not real. That's not real. Not real. Dude, I'm batting 1,000 off you. I own you.
You also did an episode of Bauer Bites. And how is that? He did, like him or not, love him or hate him, he put out some content during this whole season that I think a lot of people really enjoyed. How was that? And you had him as a teammate also, but just how is it talking to that guy? And I know people have their own opinion.
He had a
of him.
different kind of swag about him this year, too.
I loved it, though. The Conor McGregor walk and the cleats, and he nailed it this year.
I hated it.
You hated it?
I'm a hitter. That would really piss me off. Even if he did it to my teammate.
You're interrupting.
Go ahead.
He adapts with the times. Let's just say that. Like, he's doing everything he needs to do to better his brand. And he's doing it the way he needs to. Like, that's what everyone likes now. Everyone likes the bat flips, everyone's showing everyone else up and like all that. So, I mean, you got to give it to him. He's doing things that people like, and baseball's been very close. Sorry.
You're good.
Jeez.
Very good.
closed-minded about what goes on behind the scenes, and he's kind of opening up that book now. I know some people don't like that, and some people love it. I'm indifferent about it. I mean, I think it's fine. You can do whatever you want. Make your money when you can. But yeah, he's.
I think in the moment, if he's not pitching well, there's maybe more door to say something. But he pitched pretty well.
Yeah,
dude, I'm gonna ride my bat around the bases if I hit a homer off him. I'm gonna do something, man. I swear. And the thing is, he won't be mad about it because he does it too. Right. So it's not like it's all fair game.
He can take it.
Yeah,
there's guys that can't take it.
Yeah, it's not like he's gonna come up and hit you in the head. Like, he's not gonna do that. He's like, this is good for the game. This is what people want to see. So I'm gonna do it. And if you do it, okay.
Well, I think he flat out said, like, if you don't want to get bat flipped, get him out. You know.
And I think he even called out somebody that hit a homer.
It was Tatis in the 3-0 thing.
Well, no, but somebody hit a homer off him. It might have been Tim Anderson.
I think it was.
Yeah, and he said, you should have pimped it better. So, I mean, that stuff's all good. Whatever. I just, as a player, I would be just.
Were you on the, I mean, obviously you're a hitter. You probably didn't mind the Tatis 3-0 salami.
Dude,
was that really that big a deal?
I don't think so. I didn't.
I mean, it was, but I mean, is a baseball player, is it that big a deal?
Like, get into that. And then,
the unwritten rules.
I have no problem with it. I mean, I'm doing it. Obviously, clearly I did it. 3-0.
Yeah.
I mean, different point in the game, but like that's the pitcher's fault for getting in that situation. Like, you can't let a hitter like that get 3-0 with the bases loaded. Like, he's gonna eat. He's trying to get those stakes in. He wants to make that money. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't. Like, I don't care what point of the game. Like, you get 3-0 on someone. Like, that's your fault, man.
Yeah, they're not supposed to help the pitchers out.
Well, it's not like you get 0-2 and you'd be like, okay, just throw me a ball here.
Right.
Like, you get one free ball, like, to get back in the count. Like,
they're trying to strike you out.
If anything, he helped him out because he could have. I mean, you get out more times than not when you swing.
Right.
So if anything, he was helping him out by swinging the bat. He could have easily popped that up, and it would have been out of the inning. No one would have said a single word.
Yeah. That's why it's a double standard, or I don't know. It's just, I mean, I get the stealing or bunting, but nobody bunts anymore anyways. So, I mean, nobody's going to bunt up 10-1 or whatever, but I think it was 7-2 when it happened, or 6-2, and he hit the grand slam and it went 10-2.
It wasn't like it was a wide margin.
No.
I know that.
No, it was easily a comeback score. I mean, if it was 6-2, that's 4 runs. You can score 4 runs.
Yeah, I mean, if it's 10, I get it. But it's your job to get us out, right?
It's 3-0. You don't think I'm gonna hope you throwing down the middle? Why would I want to get to 3-1 and then 3-2 and then get to, you're gonna throw some nasty thing 3-2 even? No, I'm gonna give me that just cookie down the middle.
You earned it, man. You earned that 3-0 count, and you deserve to do with it what you wish. That's exactly what you said. You get 3-1, then you're like, all right, he could throw a fastball here. Bases loaded. Tatis up. I don't know if he's getting a heater 3-1. You may get something else, and then you're 3-2, and you're like, is he going heater, or is he going to throw that thing again?
If he throws a 3-1,
yeah,
why not throw a 3-2? Why not back it up?
Well,
exactly.
I mean, come on. We learned with our other podcasts that with Hefner, probably they don't do that like we think. Not high school where it's like he throws that 3-1, he's probably going to throw a 3-2.
No, it's different.
Yeah, because as a hitter, I'd be like, okay,
I think people
3-1 curveball. Okay, I'll give a 3-2 curveball here.
That conversation with him was after we did it. That's our fault, but it just changed my whole perception of. I mean, it's crazy how
the analytics stuff.
Yeah, and just information.
Yeah, information. That's what we're supposed to call it now.
It's not analytics.
Why? It's not analytics.
Because it's information. It's all information.
Because people think analytics are, even me, I'm say it myself. When thinking about analytics, I thought bad stuff like.
Well, there's people look at
just the way people.
That's why those are why they make the decisions they make, and that's not the only reason. That's not what they base all their decisions on, right? They take that information, they use their eyes, they, in the moment. It's not just, okay, this paper says this, make the move. That's not 100% accurate. But just even how the game's played, why strikeouts aren't as big a deal, why batting average isn't as big a deal.
We argued, it was off the podcast, but you're a hitter. So I was like, I would rather take he was trying to tell me or explain to me, and it made sense after he did, why organizations will take a guy batting the low 200s with more homers over a guy that's batting in the upper 200s to 300s with less homers, because it's about the run. So like if I'm a power hitter, they would rather me try to hit a home run than get a single, than get on base, because now I am a double play candidate, or 2 out. My 1 out is worth less than a possible hit, which would be worth 2 outs, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
In a way, is that kind of?
It's very much the money ball, that concept.
Like if I have the opportunity to hit the ball out, why am I not trying to hit the ball out?
Right.
Because me hitting the ball on the ground or trying just to get a hit, I'll probably get out more. So that's why strikeouts don't matter as much.
Well, it's like the movie, right? And I love that movie, by the way, Moneyball. He was saying that, instead of buying players, you need to buy wins. And to buy wins, you need to buy runs, right? And so if I hit 320 and I hit 25 home runs and I have 80 RBIs versus a guy that hits 220 with 45 home runs and 130 RBIs.
No, they don't have 130.
I'm just saying, just throw a random number. Not anymore.
90.
That guy's RBI and home run production evaluates into runs, whereas your average doesn't equate to runs. You may have hit really well, but you'll hit less home runs, which is that difference in runs, and you drove in fewer RBIs, which is a difference in runs.
But my original argument, and you can comment on this, was I was saying I would rather hit like 290 to 300 with 25 homers and 120 ribbies than hit 220 with 40 and 75 ribbies. Because to me, I was paid to drive in runs. That was my thing. So RBIs was big for me. That's the way I took it. And nowadays, it's more like the long ball is it's either all or nothing with the long ball. But the way he explained it made more sense,
Yeah, and I probably butchered it, but
no, but he said it your way too. But and I agree. Obviously, you're going to take more homers and RBIs with a less average than a guy with a high average, some okay RBIs and less homers. But I mean, what are your thoughts on it with the game nowadays?
I mean, what does the guy do with the higher average though? Will he steal you 2 bags like in a game? Will he defense? Like, I mean, is he fast? Is he not? But like.
So like me, I'm not fast. I won't steal you bags.
Then hit 220 and hit 50. Like, bottom line, it's too hard. It's too hard to continually get hits off these pitchers now. You can't get a hit. It's like, all right, base hit. Yeah. Then you got to try and get another base hit and then another base hit. Instead, it's like, just hit a homer. That's 1-0, Instead of having a guy on first and second and third, 2 outs. Hopefully this guy gets a hit. It's tough, man, because we were like that for part of our season. We had to like manufacture runs somehow, and so it was like, all right, guy gets on first, double play, or strikeout, pop up, whatever. It's too hard. It was too hard to manufacture runs that way. So that's why the value of the home run right now is so high, because these pitchers are so good, and when they make mistakes, like, you got to take advantage of it. You got to be able to hit it for extra base hits. Like, you got to get in scoring position, or you got to hit it over the fence. Like, it's too hard to get 3 hits in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it sounds like it might be a little different from organization to organization on how they prioritize some of that stuff. But
well, you got to think of the field too, like the Royals. Like, they got Soler, who can hit the ball out anywhere.
Right.
Maybe Dozier. He's a big dude, but other than that, it's like all the other guys on the team. You gotta hit balls in the gap. Like, that's a big field. So you got to take the field into account.
And they have some speed. They'll steal bases.
Oh yeah, like Mondesi, Whit Merrifield, who
Merrifield.
is like one of my favorite hitters to watch ever, and I'm happy I get to see him every year. But yeah, they got guys like Nicky Lopez, their second baseman. Who else do they have? They had an outfielder too, another one. But like their team was all about getting on base, like causing chaos on the bases, and doing hit and runs and stealing bags, stuff like that. So it's like who's right and who's wrong, and when you're playing in Kansas City for half the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thought was like even with teams like Miami, right? And they got a lot of shit for getting rid of Yelich, for getting rid of Stanton, and then you realize now, look at what they got out of those trades. They got an ace and a couple other guys that are going to be in the big leagues for a while. So it wasn't all for nothing, which means I just need to stay a fan and let those guys do what they do, and I'll just watch it and enjoy it because it doesn't translate into high school baseball.
No.
And honestly, a lot of college baseball. And so it goes back to our thing with why anybody's teaching kids how to play
like a big leaguer,
like you guys play, is, I think, a disservice.
Because no 10-year-old is a big leaguer. Whether it's the worst big leaguer in the league to Mike Trout and Aaron Judge, no 10-year-old is the worst player in the world on the big league team. It just makes me sick that people are trying to teach big league swings, or that we need to hit that approach, the homer approach, in Little League. Like, rather than, why don't you just learn how to hit the ball hard, because you're going to grow into your body at some point and be able to then hit your power and hit your stride. And that's just where I get really mad, is these hitting gurus, they say out there, are teaching that kind of stuff. And it's just like, show me a 10-year-old that's 6'7", 282 pounds. You know what I mean? Like, show me, and then I'll be like, okay, teach him how to hit like Aaron Judge then. Like, so that's where it pisses me off. But then talking to you guys and Hefner and the other big league guys, it makes us understand more the information or analytics.
Well, like, look at Lab. Labby he's not teaching those guys that stuff.
No.
And he's working in the pro game. He doesn't teach that. Not to young kids.
No.
I don't know. Even in like the lower minor leagues, like, you're just teaching guys how to hit, just like approaches, and just go the other way, pull when you have to, and stuff like that. Like, it doesn't happen. Sometimes it doesn't happen until you get to the big leagues. Like, then you start hitting homers. Like, I'll tell you, like, Bryant Hayes, the Pittsburgh's third baseman. I don't know if you guys have any idea who he is, but guy didn't hit for power, didn't really do much up until, he hit, knew how to hit, but comes up this year and he's hitting like, I think he hit like 380 and like a good amount of homers for those number of at-bats he had. And it's like, he hadn't done that before until he got to the big leagues. So I just think it's like knowing yourself, knowing who you are, what type of player you're going to be or want to be. Be realistic with yourself, obviously.
Yeah.
We're not all Stantons and Judges. But just like know yourself and be your own coach. Like, I've always been the guy looking for that swing. Like, who can tell me what to do with my swing? Who can tell me, like, I need to do this and this and this, and my swing, it'll be perfect. It's never gonna happen, ever. I've been looking for it, and it's still not come. Like, I'm in the big leagues. Like, there's no one that's gonna be the one to tell you you need to swing like this because it'll get you the big leagues and you will hit 40 homers. It's not going to happen. Like, you need to learn how to hit and hit your own way with your body type, your game, your speed or not speed. You got to learn yourself.
Yeah, because they're teaching like one type of swing, and like you said, you face a guy like Britton, and I think you hit that double off Loizaga. Mm-hmm. Like, they're completely different guys. You got a righty and a lefty. You got to make some adjustments in there, and even for count. But the same swing every pitch is. I'm sorry, but you're not going to be in this guy's position if that's the path you choose to take. You're just not. Unless you go get a burner bat and, barrel some up every now and again, then maybe. But, yeah, I don't know. You brought up Stanton. What was that like watching him in the box? I mean, he had a pretty impressive, 5 or 6 straight games. I think he hit, 5 straight home runs?
Yeah, his homers got out quick, really quick. I'm not a huge fan of his swing per se, but that's his swing, and that's what's got him to where he's at, and that's what got him millions and millions of dollars.
So wait, you're saying that his swing wouldn't work for you?
Correct.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Elaborate.
Well, I'm just saying, like we were just talking about, guys teaching a swing. Just hit. I'm not gonna teach him how to hit like Giancarlo Stanton. It's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I mean, that ain't it, man. I'm telling you, it's not it for everyone.
No, I agree. I'm agreeing with that. It's like people just don't get it. Just don't get it.
I think here in the Central Valley, people do a pretty good job. I think we got.
Yeah, I agree with that.
For the most part, especially here in the Central Valley, there's a good number of coaches that know what they're doing, and at least have help and have other guys, because there's a lot of baseball guys in the Central Valley that know what they're doing, have had experience, and if they don't, they've gone out and got the right help and right coach to teach them how to coach.
Yeah.
How much of that do you get outside of your organization with guys you've worked with in the past? Are they reaching out during the season? Guys that I know I forget the guy you were working with, but
yeah, Benny Craig out in he's all the way out in Indiana, but he'll hit me up, or I'll ask him questions, and he has videos and videos of my swing, and because I'm a terrible guy at looking at video. I think I've said that before. I can't watch myself. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't see. I just feel. I feel things, and he can tell me hey, maybe you should feel this way because this is when you were going good. I think those are the guys you need in your back pocket. Is when you were going good, what were you feeling, and how can you get back to that? Because your body, at least in my level, your body changes a lot. You have an injury, you start compensating. Next thing you know, you can't rotate like you used to, or you're just locked up a little bit. So he can tell me what he sees. But I like having those guys. Even Bates will reach out every once in a while and tell me, "Hey man, just do this." He'll send me a video of probably Judge, and he'll just be like, "Hey man, do this, hit a homer." Thanks, Bates. No, but he'll tell me, he'll give me some good information.
Yeah, he's one of the best hitting guys in our area, which it sucks because so many people out there don't get his information.
The doctor. That's what he calls him, the doctor.
It's impressive.
He's to actually sit down. I've been really fortunate to be able to talk to him a lot about hitting, and I've learned so much from him that I wish I had. But let's get back into your swing, because I want to ask you some of your top drills you like to do, that maybe the ones you can say, I don't know if you have secrets or whatever, but that might help with, because I know you really like the ball. You had the ball drill in the off season. If you want to elaborate on that drill and what your go-tos are.
Yeah. It honestly changes because, like I said, my body changes. So the stuff that worked for me last year didn't work for me this year. I had to the first month of the season, I had to completely change, what I was feeling. And I started so I took a bat and I put a full roll of tape on the end of the bat. It literally looked like a roll of tape was on the end of my bat all the way around. So I could feel that top heaviness because I just felt like I was dragging through the zone. I wasn't getting any whip. So I would always warm up on the tee with that, going deep middle away. I would start with that, middle, and then in with that bat, and then I would go to low. I'd still do that low tee. That one's a key one for me. That low one.
How low?
Like a sinker ball.
Yeah, like halfway up your shin maybe. Super low. And it was more about staying tall and like using your legs to get down to that, just like low back of the net. Then I do flips, little bit of angle.
Have you changed bats yet, or are you using the same bat? When do you change from the tape bat, the one on the tape?
When I go to the low tee.
You go to your normal bat?
Yeah. And some days I'll hit only a couple with the tape bat because I feel good, and so I'll just go straight to my normal bat and cut the swings down. Because I'll be that guy that'll just swing myself into a slump. So I gotta like be real conscious about how many swings I'm taking per day. So that's another thing. You can easily swing yourself into a slump. Front toss, I started doing it less and less just because of the angle. Because I started getting really like that angle coming up, and I started getting real steep. And then I noticed I was fouling balls off or popping it up to the pitcher or catcher. And so I kind of cut that down, and I did like short overhand. Just a couple, 10, 15 swings, and then BP.
Now, do you have you don't use like a short bat or any of that kind of stuff? I mean, you probably have before, or you kind of just give me my bat that I use and just get after it that way.
Just give me my bat, man. I like that thing, and that's what you're going to use in a game. So it's like that's what I like to use. Certain people like to feel certain things, but mine's always been my lower half and how that's feeling. That'll get my hands to work because I have really good hands. So it's always my lower half I'm working on. I kind of figured out I tend to straighten my front leg when I land, and it takes the adjustability away from me. So if I land with my both of my knees bent, I'm able to adjust and adapt to certain pitches more. If I land with it straight, I have to go down and then straighten back up to swing. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Because you always snap your knee back when you go to swing. Like at contact, your knee's almost like hyperextended. So I think that front landing with that bent front knee for me was a key about halfway through the season, because it just gives me that balance and feel of like the ground, and I can use it instead of I don't have it here, I got it, and then I don't have it again.
It's like some leverage almost.
Yeah.
A little bit of
helps with the rotation too.
That too.
Your hips.
Mm-hmm. I think because my back was messed up, I started compensating, and I'm like, all right, get it straight, so I just have to do this. And I had to kind of learn it, reteach my body with that front leg.
And I'm sure that's another thing you got to do with all the crap going on to stay ready to go
with limited time in the cage.
Yeah.
Well, and that's probably something that we'll see how. I don't know what next year holds.
Well, they just put fans in the stands yesterday.
I saw that with the Dodgers and the Braves, which is nice, to be honest. I didn't even know they were doing that. I saw them after.
I feel like it's unfair. Should have just kept it the same all year. That's just me.
Kept nobody?
Yeah, screw it. Why now?
Money.
Yeah.
That's exactly why.
Never mind. That wins. So.
It does. I know you don't like that.
I don't.
But that's 100%.
I mean, in that case, they should do what football's. I love how football's doing it. They have like 2 rows, then empty 2 rows all the way up, then 2 rows, and then empty 2 rows. I just feel like they could have done that.
Depends on the state, man.
Yeah,
it's not MLB. It's the state. California is never going to let anyone do anything ever.
No, never.
Texas, halfway. Florida is a free for all.
Really? So was there So getting it in different states that you went and played, did it seem like the COVID part of it was less and less depending on what state you were in?
Well, that was mandated by the
That was MLB
too,
though.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, and you guys had to follow certain rules the whole year too.
Yeah.
But I mean, would you get away with, like you said, in your locker room not wearing a mask in certain places, or that MLB was there? That was MLB.
They were there all the time. We had 24-hour security at the hotel too, and then at the field.
So what could you do? It was just field to hotel, field to
Play
hotel.
baseball and eat food.
What did you? So what? So what did you? What's the new Anything shows you picked up? Was there? I mean, what did you dive into?
Call of Duty, man. I would just go home and just try and get my mind off stuff and play Call of Duty and kill people online. So
were you playing
get
online?
My frustration out. Oh yeah.
Okay, I gotta get PS4.
PS4, and then I was so bored I went and bought a laptop. I was playing on the laptop. I was mixing back and forth, dude. I was like, I don't know what else to do with myself because we couldn't have our families out. No. Couldn't have like girlfriends or wives, like unless they went and got tested. Then they had to fly in, wait a day, get tested, and once they tested negative, they could see us. So it was a lot of hoops to jump through just to like, because I haven't seen my family until yesterday, since I don't know, before COVID.
Well, yeah, and you were in San Diego when we did our last episode with you, so
which was during COVID, right before they started up.
That's crazy. Which Call of Duty, by the way?
What's the Warzone? Just Warzone it.
You don't have that one.
No, but I'm
free.
Is it free?
Free. Yeah. Hop on.
All right. We'll exchange information. I'll have my people call your people. Chad does not like those games.
I'm more of a sports gamer.
He bought NASCAR, right?
Dude, I played NASCAR.
He got me into it. I've only played it like twice.
Oh, I'm playing a lot of that, and I bought the Tony Hawk.
How is that?
Is that good?
It takes me back to my high school days.
The new one? The new one?
Yeah. Yeah, I downloaded both of them, the 1 and 2.
Yeah, I was big into Tony Hawk when that
so
came
much
out.
fun,
That was the
bro.
best ever. That game.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I've been having a good time. But yeah, the new Call of Duty's coming out, so I'll be on that too.
See, with the Call of Duty though, you have to buy it like right when it comes out. Because if you're not playing on it right when it comes out, then you got to catch up to everybody with the weapons.
Dude, if you're a week, I've noticed this. If like we go on a road trip and I don't bring anything, and I don't play for a week, I get slaughtered. Like everyone has just gone right past me.
See, you got to keep up your Call of Duty game at the same time.
I have to.
You're working on your swing. You're trying to win games, right? I'm trying to win in the postseason.
You're trying to win Call of Duty,
and
battles.
I gotta up my KD ratio.
Well, the good thing about that is they didn't have to get to the field till later, so they could stay up later, play video games.
That's true.
I mean, is it seriously like what do you do on the road when you can't get to the ballpark at like 3 or 4 o'clock? You got to be bored out of your mind.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really go out and like go for breakfast. It's all catered, or you have to Postmate it.
Can you like go out for a walk?
You can, but it's like very limited, and you got your mask on the whole time. It's like you really want to walk around with a mask on, like rather.
So, do you guys have? Is there more guys on your team that play Call of Duty? So, do you guys have like a Call of Duty room where you guys would go to the room and get all decked out in your Call of Duty stuff, or you were just in your room?
Just usually in the room, but we ended up getting conference rooms so everyone can meet up, because you got some of the older guys that don't play video games and they're just like, man, I want to have a beer, or the whiskey, and so that we would have nights we go to the conference room and we'd just be like team dinner, and we'd make the team cater in like a steakhouse or something, and we'd all get in there and just get after it for a night. We had a night game the next day, so it was like
have fun, have at it,
have some whiskey and wine or whatever you can get your hands on. So
tell some old tales.
Yeah.
Some war stories.
You don't have any of those.
Oh, no, not me. I'm good. Just stay in my room and play Call of Duty.
LCL, baby.
LCL. Do you rock? You're playing online with like friends?
Yeah.
Yeah. You say you rock the headset and everything?
Oh, yeah. I'm deep in it.
Dude. I saw Harper doing that on his Instagram or something like that.
He started Twitch.
Was that what it is?
I think a Twitch thing.
I was playing MLB The Show, because they actually gave us our own card. That was a 99. So I got sent from MLB The Show my card that was a 99, and I was like, all my stats were like through the roof, right? And it has my actual picture with the real Jordan Luplow on it. Like it says the real Jordan Luplow. And so I would play guys, I'm batting third, like hitting bombs, and they're like, dude, is this you? They'd message me on PlayStation. I was playing in Cleveland, so it was all Cleveland network. So I'd get guys like messaging me and saying like good game, and And like I remember playing this one, I could not beat him, dude. I could not beat him, and he knew it was me too. And I was so pissed because he wasn't playing with the normal controls. He was playing with something else, like just the buttons, not the PCI. And it was
see, sounds like you,
dude. If you're a button guy, get out of here, man.
Get out of here.
Fake
on baseball.
Yeah.
I've used the buttons before. I'm not a fan of it. I'll do both.
It's all about the analog.
Yeah, whatever.
You gotta get your stride right. That's the real baseball, man. None of that fake shit, bro.
Get out of here.
Or like your NASCAR where you don't use the shifter.
I do. I do. You told me I had to, so I do. Guy cries about everything over here.
Whatever, dude. I can't do online baseball unless you have like super good internet, because I can't do the lag. Oh my god, like where you swing and then it doesn't swing for like 2 more seconds.
Yeah,
and the ball's already by you. I've had too many issues with that.
You got to play on like the monitors. Like you got to get your own little like monitor, or it's no good.
Well, if I was in the big leagues, I'd probably have my own monitor. If I came in with a monitor, my wife would probably kill me just for video games.
You should do it and see what happens. Videotape it.
You'll be alone hosting the show by yourself.
So it did come to an end.
Sadly.
Have you been watching any of the postseason since, or you just come home and get away from it?
I think last night was the first game I watched. I'll check out some highlights of like some of the buddies, but that's it.
Any favorites going forward now? Are you not rooting for somebody?
I mean, I like the Dodgers. I want to root for the Dodgers. I do.
Why?
Belly's my guy.
Why? Oh,
he's my guy.
You guys work out together.
Yeah, he's my guy.
Fine. I'll let you have that one.
Astro. I don't really have anyone on the Astros or Braves. Who else is in it?
Tampa.
Tampa. Yeah.
So Tampa.
Actually,
Dodgers.
Tampa. I want Tampa to win.
The whole thing.
I know. Yeah, because Glass now, Meadows. I play with those guys.
That's right. Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm rooting for those guys.
If it comes down to the Dodgers, I'm going for Tampa, just because they're like the underdog of all underdogs. Because a lot of people gave him crap for Cash being the manager, when he was hired, and now look what's happened.
As far as like what people think,
yep.
They were the 1 seed, bro.
Hey, okay, but I'm talking about like they don't have any superstars. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at it from a fan. Like me, I understand.
They've never won a World Series. That type of
like here's a bunch of here's a bunch of like the little rascals going out and just playing baseball for fun. That's the way I think of the Tampa Bay Rays.
If the Dodgers do lose, like what happens?
You can't even win a 60-game World.
Just with the history in the recent years and
Did you hear Kershaw's not starting tonight?
Yeah, he's not. What is and I've talked to a couple of my friends that are Dodger fans, and my thought was if they won last night, Kershaw's probably pitching tonight. They didn't win game 1, and now he's not going. Does that have something to do with their confidence in his ability to get it done?
I don't know.
What is it, a matchup thing?
I don't know. He's in the big league. Why are you asking me?
I'm
I only play the show.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm with you.
He's got a back injury. That's what it is. That's what I heard.
Bellinger told him.
Off the record. There's no truth to that.
There's not. Don't quote me.
Yes. Don't put words in his mouth.
You get me in trouble.
I winked. That means that means it's true when I wink. I don't know. No, yeah, but I think if he is healthy, he's going, like, no matter what. So there's got to be something.
Yeah.
Obviously a back injury.
It was random because even last night they were saying that he's going today.
Just happened this morning.
And he's been freaking dominant this postseason. So interesting. That's all.
Now I'm even more in favor of the Braves. I picked them anyways, so I just feel like they're almost like the Braves to me. It's almost like the Braves and Rays are. Everybody doesn't think they can do it because they're young and all that they're gonna like prove people wrong. But I guess that's just my point of view. There's probably people out there that the Braves are good. Tampa was picked to win it by a lot of the people before the season started. with how good they could be. But yeah, I mean, I just like the Braves lineup, man. And how could you not like Freddie Freeman?
Yeah.
I mean, he's just such like he seems like a down to earth dude, like just like a good guy, you know. And I hope he gets MVP. I know he wasn't even in the talks, but then like Chipper put something out like about the numbers, and it's like, whoa, you look at Chipper's numbers and nobody's talking about him. I mean, at Freeman's numbers, like
every year, man, same guy, and you know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, that guy can hit.
It's good.
Yeah,
but I mean, about awards, well, we don't. I was just thinking. Like,
well, let's get. What do you think?
60 game
MVP?
seasons. I mean, is that they're going to hand out a World Series? So if you're going to crown a World Series champion, you can't say you can't crown an MVP or a Cy Young or whatever. So
you're going to, but how can you? This is where my thing was. The Padres, they said, was it Tingler? What's his name? Is it Tingler?
The coach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's had the best winning percentage in the history of the organization. It's 60 games.
Yeah.
Like how do you?
Hard.
You know what I mean? Like how do you say that? Like he coached 60 games. Now, does he have the best in the first 60 games that somebody's ever coached in an organization? That's different. But they're saying like he has the best winning percentage in a season.
No, it's not real.
Right?
No.
And that's what it bugs me, and it bugs me too. It's like nothing against Bieber. I know he's a teammate and he's great, but like when they say he won the Triple Crown, which he did outright in the 60 game span, but the way they're talking about it is like we played a full season, or not we, but you guys played a full season. Like no, there wasn't a full season, so it's like
I mean, he made half the starts he probably would have made.
Yeah, and like going in the playoffs, these guys are more fresh than they would be after a 162 game season. So, but then what we're hearing from you, it's like now I'm rethinking the way I thought about it because all the crap you guys had to put up with. Like maybe they're not fresher than I thought with all mentally crap going on and all that, and not getting your work in that you need to get work in all the time. So I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. It's going to be the worst season of the history of the game, and 2020 should just be an asterisk period. No, you can't cross it out because those are numbers that guys, you know, will deserve to have. So I don't know. It's just so weird.
It is, man.
It's like, why?
Tough.
How are we even talking about it like this?
You got to give credit where it's due. It's like these guys showed up for these games, but there's got to be a little asterisk because it's not 162.
I'm liking your hat, by the way.
Thanks.
Rocking that.
Steal that
A couple
from your
buddies
dad?
gave it to me.
Stole it from your dad, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
That's all right.
This one's mine. My dad got a different one.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, okay. It looks good.
I thought I told you I gave him the hookup, bro.
I wasn't involved in that conversation.
That transaction?
Because, you know, I would have charged him. So.
You probably would have.
No, I'm not that guy.
I'll plead the fifth on that. I'm just kidding. I'm just playing.
You could plead the fifth. I didn't.
Whatever.
We'll have a couple beers over it. How about?
Yeah, I'm down.
I don't drink beer.
I'm down. Well, what do you a margarita?
Hey, something hard.
Something margarita, get you a
Hard alcohol. I don't know. What's your go-to?
Dude, on the plane, they give me 4 Tito's, like the little travel, and the lemon or lime Dasani soda water. Every flight.
So they just know, or you ask for it?
Well, I asked for it enough that they're like, okay. I think this is his thing, right?
That's a restaurant you don't need to order at.
Yeah.
Tito's,
that's bomb. That's what his wife likes.
My
Tito's.
wife's go to. Tito's with.
I don't know if I could do soda water. I just don't. But I guess it's like soda when you put it in with the Tito's. It's like a lime soda.
I just didn't want to do Sprite.
You don't want the carbs or the calories.
No, man.
It's fine. It's totally fine. You got to keep that physique.
That's my go-to, though. That's it.
I got to try it just because I have to, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll fucking start playing again. Drink like a big leaguer.
Do it and get on some Call of Duty.
Rake like a
Yeah.
big leaguer. Okay.
Tito's and Call of Duty,
If I
that's
get
where
on
it's at.
Call of Duty, I'll be the guy that dies so you know
You
where
can just
everybody
go
is.
camp somewhere and
You're the meat shield.
Yes.
yes,
I'm
there you
that
go.
guy. And I'm totally fine with
What do you guys? What do you roll with? I know you got to go to dinner, but what like you domination? What I just got to know.
Domination
The
what?
Warzone.
And yeah, is that I've never played that.
That's
one.
like 100 people. The 100 people. In the map.
Holy smokes! Are you serious?
You go in. Yeah, you go in with your team, either yourself, 2, 3, 4 guys, 100 people, last man standing.
That's badass.
Have you ever been the last man?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh, I catch some dubs. Yeah.
Damn.
Oh yeah.
That'd be the first one out every time.
We'll send you in first.
Yeah, that's sick.
And then I'll just be sitting back with my Tito's and just watching the show.
Yeah, but you can throw
Give me time to refill.
Yeah, headset on and
While we revive you.
yeah.
I'll just have the helmet with the straw going in. So I'm out anyways. Hey, I'm out, guys.
Oh, dude, what didn't we cover?
I don't know. It's always fun having him on.
Yeah, I'm glad. I saw you were coming back home, and I was like, "Are we gonna reach out?" Or
I hit him up.
you know,
Yeah. What do you guys? You guys got anything that's like sitting deep that you need to get off your chest?
No,
No? Do
Nothing.
I?
I'm
I think we
asking you.
covered a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got into a lot of stuff.
It's always a fun time, you know.
It's easy. It's different too because we didn't. We know the background. I was gonna ask is if you remembered who his first hit and home run were off of.
Me?
Yeah. I'm forgetting. I think I'm forgetting the home run. But Tyler Molly was your first hit, and your first home run.
I was trying to think in the show when I was playing with him who I hit it off of.
Did you watch any of that? By the way,
He texts me every time.
I sent him looks up.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, dude, you just went deep in my game."
He's probably thinking, dude, Chad's such a loser. And then he's on his Call of Duty. They're playing. No, I actually haven't
I think
played
I was
in a
playing
while,
against
but-
you. Yeah, I was playing against myself.
No, well, you are souped up in my game, but I did that with everybody.
he would text me the highlight videos of those games. I would get a highlight of like,
No, we made a YouTube channel.
you
I know.
posting about it.
Before that though, it would be like Loop hitting a walk off or hitting a bomb.
Which I was still mad they took your beard away. Like, doesn't even look like him.
Did you have him in Under Armour stuff?
I did, and then I saw him in Nike because the game came out before this year, and you didn't keep me up to date with what you're wearing, so yeah,
Sorry.
I had to go change it. I did change it though to Nike and Franklin, so and he still has his Rollins glove. But
One more thing. I watched part of the Bauer Bites, and I think it was Farmer was talking about his debut moment where he hit a walk off, and his Instagram went from like 3,000 followers to like 40,000 in that night. Did yours jump up a bit after your dub? In the
Yeah,
postseason?
this last one,
Not
No,
like it would in LA, but yeah, I got a few hundred. Yeah,
it seems like a lot of
100,000 or a few hundred.
100. Not there yet. Got
How many did we get you?
minus.
Just take some away.
How many does he get us? At least a handful.
Oh, you went out. I went out. Put my thing back in.
Easy over there.
There we go.
Easy, bro. Easy.
Now I'm out again.
You never know what's gonna hit though. You never know what's gonna hit on the internet.
No.
You never know.
Yeah.
Like
No. You screwed me up again.
Well,
My
you can't.
earplugs. Come on.
God.
The bottom one. Yeah, that one. There we go. Stop. Don't touch. There we go.
Jesus.
I'm in.
Don't move.
it could be something so
Well, if you
innocent, and then it just blows up.
Right?
You never know.
Well, that's what it was. It was his debut walk off, and it went nuts.
Yeah, but like you said, I mean, he's in LA, and those are like die hard.
Yes.
He did it in a time where probably a lot of people like aren't watching sports like they would be. So if that happened in a normal season, I bet you would have got at least 1,000.
At least.
Probably more.
No, way more.
Way more.
Way more for
All
sure.
the people there watching. Dude, I still can envision how crazy that atmosphere would have been.
Yeah. Well, in the playoffs, the drummer guy was outside the stadium.
Yeah, I was a different guy, but
Oh,
there
was a
there
different
was
guy?
a dude beating a drum out.
Could you guys hear it? I mean, probably.
I
not.
didn't hear it. No,
Yeah, see,
I know
they
two
kept-
guys.
So the drummer guy
broke
out there,
in.
you're doing it for no reason.
That's all right. That's a fan right there.
Yeah. He probably doesn't listen to our podcast
No.
anyways.
No. Such a dick. Oh my God. I'm sorry for keeping you longer than we should have.
I got time.
Well, hopefully this is back to some normalcy. I don't think anybody knows what's going to happen. And if you don't know, that's for sure then. But and then Musgrove too. He had battled some injuries too. Isn't he your roommate for a while?
Yeah. Yeah, he had some foot thing.
Yeah, I rolled you guys out on my fantasy team, just so you know. I even sent it to him.
Bench me for.
No, I played you. I drafted you. Yeah. Well, come on, bro.
It's the worst when I get the, dude, I picked you up in fantasy and you're doing terrible. What are you doing? And then I get a Venmo request from the same guy. Dude, you lost me money tonight. Send me some money.
You got to be joking me. These are people you know?
No, they're just random people.
Randoms?
They'll just like find my Venmo and be like, hey man, you lost me $50 tonight. Give me it back.
Oh my God, that's some douchey shit.
I'm
right
sorry.
there.
Go to your normal job. I'm in the big leagues. Get out of here, bro. I would like Venmo him like a cent or something.
Yeah,
like here's 1 cent.
Here's 2 cents for your 2 cents. Jesus Christ.
But
Okay.
that's like, people are just ridiculous. Like these guys.
You lost me money.
You lost me money. No, you're playing a stupid fantasy game. Like, grow up. I'm just out of fantasy this year. That's why.
I
didn't do it.
I'm
I'm glad I didn't play football with how all those injuries went. Like the first 2 weeks.
brutal.
It's a nightmare. I got 4 teams.
Are you hurting right now?
No, I'm actually doing all right. I'm doing all right.
Who's your team? NFL.
The Lions, man.
The Lions.
Yeah.
Why?
My dad's side of the family, I grew up with it, man.
Are they from Detroit?
Yeah, they're from Michigan.
Oh, now we have something in common because my family's from Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah. My grandpa's a Detroit fan.
Guys are like brothers.
Yeah. Are you a Go Blue fan then?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That and Michigan State, kind of like. I know it's.
can't do
I
that.
can't. Well, my grandpa went to Michigan State. My dad's Michigan guy, so I was like,
Well, you got to pick one. So Go Blue.
hey, I got all the Cleveland fans and OHIO, and I have to sit there and just wear it. We got nothing to.
You may not
Nothing.
wanted to put that. Well, they don't listen to this, so it doesn't matter. But that's a pretty. That's a, well.
But
that's
they already know.
that's
They already know his background. That's
Yeah.
why they're doing 8. Oh, they do it for you guys, or they do it for you.
Columbus is right
Yeah.
there. They don't do it for me.
Yeah, but see, if they know he's a
Specifically.
Michigan guy, it's you have to wear it even more.
Yeah. No, I grew up a Michigan guy, and then I like Notre Dame because one of my good buddies in college was diehard Notre Dame, like diehard. So I like Notre Dame and Michigan. I like Harbaugh. He needs to turn that place around. Come on, figure it out.
I mean, how much time are you gonna give him to turn it around?
As long as he needs, because he's a really good
All right.
coach.
He eats steaks. That's all. That's all that matters.
Yep, I
Eats
like it.
steaks.
That's awesome. So Lions, that sucks, but Go Blue. So you probably have nobody on your fantasy team from Detroit.
No, I have them all.
Really?
Because they're always down and they're always throwing the ball, baby.
True. Stafford's
Hey,
great.
Great fantasy
Get those
quarterback.
garbage time
Great quarterback
points.
in general, but
He is.
He is a good quarterback.
just nothing around him.
Yeah. Patricia needs to figure that out too. They need to get rid of him.
He's only in what, year 2?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4? 2? It's only been 2 years.
Yeah. They won a Super Bowl. and
COVID's
then-
got you messed up, man.
Yeah.
The time frame.
Yeah. Sports sucks.
Most of the guys that do the Bush League stuff, they have not even watched anything.
Anything.
Nothing.
Really?
Yeah. Not one pitch, not one down, not one quarter of basketball,
Not one dribble.
nothing. One of them didn't even know who was in the playoffs for baseball.
Yeah.
That's an entirely different story and topic and podcast altogether.
Which we should do. We should Zoom him on a Bush Leaguer.
This guy? Oh,
Where they don't even know. It'll be like, our celebrity guest is none other than Jordan Luplow. But you got to wear a Detroit Lions jersey.
Do you have one?
I got my Calvin Johnson in the.
Ooh, yes. He was my
guy.
first pick every year for fantasy.
He could probably still come back and play. Go with
Megatron, baby.
Animal.
Oh, he was the best.
Animal.
He was the best. Oh, he was so good. Those were the two guys I always had. I got Stafford a lot and Megatron because, I mean, he was going for 2,000 yards receiving every year.
Yeah, we got him and then Barry Sanders to the name.
Oh, for sure. Barry Sanders. He's an Oklahoma State guy.
Yeah. I was going to say.
Coach Walton, they were there the same year. My college coach. They used to play pickup basketball games together. In wherever you play pickup in their rec center. That's what it was.
Basketball court.
On the basketball court, yeah. No, the hockey rink. Get out of here.
I think
Tito used to play. He used to coach Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Yeah.
In
you guys see
Birmingham?
Yeah, we saw it on the Last Dance.
Well, it was in they did a 30 for 30 on that. Mm-hmm. On his minor league deal, yeah. Oh. Because he had the bus that he got to travel everybody around in, and yeah, I would like to hear some stories about that.
Our bench coach too. Bench coach and Tito, yeah.
Is that Mills? Where was he not here? Was he not with you guys?
No.
Because him and Tito were like
for a long time
together forever. Yeah, because I didn't know. Because when Sandy was the guy, I was like, oh, what happened to Mills? But he was out this year as well.
Yeah.
You don't have to talk about it. I don't know what's going on. I just know Bo raked.
Yeah. That's what I heard.
Yeah. But well, congrats to you on you got your new home, and I'm not gonna say where it's at because everybody will go Venmo you or want your address. But beautiful location in Cleveland.
Oceanfront property in Cleveland.
But yeah, dude, we appreciate this. I know you have a lot of people to see and do things, and everybody wants a piece of you. But we're just glad we're fortunate enough that you do this with us.
Yeah, it was fun shooting the shit, man, catching up, and I appreciate you,
we
listening and support, giving us some insight on Miranda's episode. And
yeah, you guys are freaking getting after me with my 4 ERA. You guys FaceTime me just to tell me.
Well, okay,
yeah.
We were pretty rough.
I appreciate you FaceTiming back. So I mean.
Yeah.
You're probably thinking
because there are some people that literally don't respond to us.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
it's nice to.
But you're not bigger than the game or bigger than anything, which we love too. You're just a dude.
Yep, been really good to us.
One of the boys. That's how it should be. It's fun.
Yeah, I enjoy the conversations, man. But whatever happens, good luck going forward. Travel safely. Enjoy dinner with the fam tonight, and good luck next season. Hopefully, we have a full year and we can come out and watch. So,
yeah.
Hopefully, we got fans out there.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, you have fans here.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
And
you do. I'm like,
hey, he does. No, he does. Yeah. Absolutely does. So that's episode 78, the Hit or Die podcast.
Hit or Die.